There's a good chance that your dentist isn't telling you the truth about what really causes tooth decay, and as a result, could be cashing in big time at your expense.
Too expensive and too frightening. They're the main reasons millions of people avoid the dentist.
To look into the issue of dental scams and what people need to look out for, would you say then some dentists are making not their patient the priority, but more their pocketbook the priority?
What in the United States would be $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of dental work done.
Child's $1 million smile could end up costing parents thousands as more and more preschoolers find themselves in the dentist chair.
What you're about to learn might spare you hefty dentist bills and also a mouthful of mercury. You see, modern dentistry is not only expensive, but pretty darn toxic too.
We're concerned about the danger of mercury in dental amalgam fillings, quite simply because mercury is the most potent neurotoxin known to man.
After shelling out more cash than I care to admit, to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars, trying in vain to fix my teeth, I was desperate. It made no sense. I brushed and flossed every day, but my teeth just kept getting worse. So I went on a mission to find out why. And it turns out there's a lot more to tooth decay than we're being told.
Now we have a system which doesn't treat teeth as part of the body. That makes no sense at all.
And until you understand the truth about tooth decay, you could be fighting a losing battle with your dentist and an empty wallet like I did. Have you ever wondered why for most of human history, people never brushed their teeth? And no, it's not because they were sprouting rotting stumps. On the contrary, evidence, which you're about to see, suggests that our ancestors had near perfect teeth. And you're about to hear the fascinating true story of one dentist in the early 1900s who'd literally traveled the world in search of the truth about what really causes tooth decay. And what he discovered was truly remarkable and should have transformed dentistry forever. But sadly, this incredible knowledge has been ignored or intentionally hidden, as it has the potential to stop tooth decay. You see, there's a common misconception that tooth decay is entirely normal. We're led to believe that with more advanced dental care, we're better equipped to deal with tooth decay than ever before in human history. The truth, however, is that tooth decay was rare until recently. But how is this even possible, given our ancestors had no fluoridated water, no toothpaste, no toothbrushes, no floss, and no dentists? You see, dentists don't really want you and I to have perfect teeth. They need us to keep coming back to get drilled, filled, and billed, so they can live the high life with our hard-earned money. But it doesn't have to be that way. I for one got tired of this, and I'm going to share some remarkable proof that there's more to perfect teeth than we're being told. This is the story of the big dental con job. In order to uncover the truth about tooth decay, we first need to discuss the work of Dr. Weston Price, a dentist from Cleveland, Ohio in the early 1900s. Dr. Price was a well-respected and successful dentist, but as his career progressed, he began to notice something troubling. It wasn't just the unmistakable decay in his patients' teeth that caught his eye. Though that was alarming enough, it went way beyond that. He observed a slew of other issues in his patients: arthritis, osteoporosis, diabetes, stomach troubles, and overwhelming fatigue. But it was in his younger patients that gave him the most concern. Crooked teeth were becoming common, as were facial deformities too. Think overbites, faces that were pinched or narrowed, and cheekbones and noses that seemed underdeveloped. These kids' faces were literally different than what Dr. Price was used to. And it wasn't just about appearances either. These children were plagued with frequent bouts of infections, allergies, anemia, asthma, poor eyesight, lack of coordination, and behavioral challenges were all on the rise. Dr. Price knew there had to be a link to modern society causing such a rapid decline in health. So in order to find answers, he traveled the world studying the teeth and overall health of people from various isolated parts of the world, the untouched places where modern conveniences hadn't yet left their mark. He visited Swiss villages, Eskimos, Indian tribes of Canada, Amazonian Indians, South Sea Islanders, Australian Aborigines, and the Maori of New Zealand, and even tribesmen of Africa. And what he discovered was rather shocking. Here were populations miles away from our progressive civilization flaunting picture-perfect teeth. We're talking about near zero dental issues. Dental decay was almost non-existent. No overcrowded teeth either. None of those crooked teeth, the kind that today's orthodontists probably dream about. And many of these people had never even heard of a toothbrush. However, Dr. Price also noticed something else frankly unnerving. As soon as these untouched communities began mingling with traders or missionaries and sampling the delights of processed foods, things began to go awry. Dental decay and disease started to appear. And it wasn't just sugar eating holes in their teeth, there was something else going on. The change was startling, and it wasn't a matter of race or genetics either, as children on traditional diets retained good health regardless of mixed heritage. Although the diets of these different groups varied, some ate heavy servings of milk, butter, eggs, and meat, while others leaned towards fermented foods and seafood. But they all had one thing in common. All these diets were power-packed with fat-soluble vitamins. We're talking about vitamin A and D, coming in at levels whopping 10 times more than the standard American diet of Dr. Price's day. These vitamins are found in animal fats like butter, lard, liver, organ meats, egg yolks, and fish oils. He coined the term activators for these fat-soluble vitamins. Think of them as essential keys for unlocking important nutrient absorption needed to build strong teeth that resist decay. And that's the key, and I'll explain how this works in just a moment. He even discovered a super catalyst that he called Activator X, now thought to be vitamin K2. Every healthy group he studied had this X factor in their diets. But here's where things get really interesting for tooth decay. Dr. Price observed that when his patients consumed a diet rich in these fat-soluble vitamins, not only did children's existing tooth decay halt, but new decay was also prevented. The teeth were even strengthened and remineralized. So compelling were these findings that Dr. Price shifted away from traditional dental methods to emphasize this dietary strategy. So here's how this works. For robust, decay-resistant teeth, calcium is vital. However, this entire process hinges on vitamin K2. You see, vitamin K2 drives calcium into teeth, enhancing their density. This makes them more resilient against decay and loss. And while mainstream dentistry champions calcium and vitamin D for sturdy teeth and bones, they're not sufficient by themselves. It's vitamin K2 that plays the pivotal role in coordinating the process. You see, vitamin D aids in calcium absorption from our food, crucial given that 90% of people are deficient in it. Yet even if you supplement with calcium and vitamin D, it doesn't guarantee the calcium benefits your teeth or bones. Because to transport calcium from blood vessels into teeth, vitamin K2 is essential. Here's the crux. Without vitamin D, calcium absorption in your gut is compromised. Without vitamin K2, the calcium you do get from your food may linger in your blood vessels, potentially hardening them instead of strengthening your teeth, which raises your risk of heart attacks. One study that looked at this stated calcium supplements with or without vitamin D modestly increase the risk of cardiovascular events. You see, you can be diligent with brushing and flossing, but if your teeth are weak, decay persists. And that was my experience. Every single visit to the dentist was more bad news. More decay, more injections, more drilling, and a mouthful of mercury. And if you've ever struggled with bad teeth, let me know in the comments below, as I certainly know how frustrating that can be. The bottom line is that vitamin K2 is essential for building decay-resistant teeth. But most dentists aren't telling their patients this. Vitamin K2 is found in animal fats, eggs, cheese, liver, and notably in the Japanese fermented food natto. And while your gut produces some vitamin K2, this process isn't always efficient, especially in an unhealthy gut. And our Western obsession with highly processed food has significant consequences. Products packed with sugar, white flour, and vegetable oils, and low-quality counterfeits like margarine, shortening, egg substitutes, processed cheeses, factory meats, and packets full of stuff that never spoil are a far cry from the nutrient-packed foods the people that Dr. Price studied ate. Yet there's another decay-causing mechanism these low-quality foods trigger also, one that brushing can't touch, and that your dentist most likely won't tell you about either. But before we reveal that, if you want to learn more about the disastrous effects of our modern world on health and discover what's really driving heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, and obesity, then get free instant access to the Longevity Code documentary series, featuring dozens of doctors and health experts from around the world, and packaged into 7 episodes of exclusive video footage. Plus, get digital copies of The Art of Sleep and The Obese Brain books. Just click the link in the description below. Contrary to popular belief, teeth aren't solid. They more resemble organs. You see, teeth are made up of 3 layers: enamel, dentin, and pulp. And a process called dentinal fluid transport circulates nutrients between these layers. The ideal flow is from inside to out. Reverse it, and bacteria can seep into your teeth, leading to internal decay, where brushing and flossing can't reach. This process is controlled by a part of your brain called the hypothalamus. And Dr. Ralph Steinman's research revealed that diets high in sugar and refined white flour disrupt this system. When fluid flows from the inside out, teeth stand strong against decay. Reverse that flow and they become more vulnerable. And the chief offenders? Diets rich in sugar and refined flours. Here's what's important for you to know. Eating a diet rich in fat, soluble vitamins A, D, and K2 while cutting out sugar and refined flours is crucial. So should you stop brushing and flossing daily? No, of course not, as these mechanical procedures help remove sugar and bacteria from your teeth. But building strong decay-resistant teeth is the other part of the equation. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel as it helps push this video out to other people that may benefit too. And you may also want to watch our other videos on the dangers of eating fake meat, and also the dire consequences of eating modern wheat by clicking the images on the screen now.